tricks of the trade that people talk about, what are they? Like you've talked about this, that you've over the years, you've picked these up. Are these as simple as, how to make a profile that suits you, or, things like hair and makeup, or is it also certain tricks in like the way you act? Like, I mean, what are the tricks of the acting trade?
I realized that this profile and hair and makeup will not do anything to you. And I had stopped looking at monitors. I don't even know when did I last look at the monitor actually. I don't look at monitors deliberately because I realized I am not cut out for films in which you are supposed to be checking your hair and makeup and profile. And I realized there's some gorgeously breathtaking looking women out there who look wonderful, and I cannot match up to that. And
But you did Judua too. And
yeah,
all.
but just to break that monotony so people don't box me into a slot. But I knew that I'm not that diva-ish looking, and I'm perfectly fine and comfortable with that. Then I realized the craft is just to psych yourself out into believing that you are this person, this has happened to you. That's my process of doing it. I'm not a method actor, I'm not a person who does a lot of homework in terms of watching reference films. I remember when Anurag Kashyap asked me to watch some, I don't even remember which, some French film before Man Marzi. I slept in 20 minutes after watching it. I was like, don't ever tell me to watch any film like this, because I feel wantedly or unwantedly, if I like the performance, I'll start imitating it.
Right.
And that will be the end of my spontaneity and natural and the realness that I can bring. So my way is to psych myself out. Just lose yourself in front of the camera. I have no inhibitions whatsoever now, how I look. The fear of how you look, how that expression might look on your face. I just lost that somewhere in midway. I don't know when. Yeah, that's when I found myself.
So when you say you lose yourself in a character, that's a psychological space,
Yes.
right? But are there also like certain physical things that one does to prepare yourself for a character? Like, I'm going to walk like this, I'm going to move my hand like this. So
that happens, see, when you're psyching your brain out, your body language will automatically get affected.
Right.
So I don't do a special training unless until I'm doing a, say, film like Surma, where I have to be a hockey player. So I need to be a certain way physically. Or if I'm playing a 65-year-old woman in Sand Ki Aankh, then I need to be a little wary of how I'm walking. All that is special. But for other films, when I psych myself out mentally, my full body language changes. Like for Game Over, I'm a depressed person, a person in trauma. So I don't walk that confidently in the film, ever. Okay. So the whole way of me walking changes, and it's far, far away from me in personal life, because I feel I'm a pretty confident person in real. So for me to lose that whole confidence in front of the camera was torturous. But once you psych your brain out, your entire body changes.
Changes, okay. You've also talked about how being around directors has changed you, and being around certain actors. Can you talk about something that, like on the sets of Aadukalam, which was probably your first major film, in terms of, like what really happened on the sets? There was Dhanush, there was Vetrimaaran. Can you talk about a scene or something which you went in a certain way but then ended up doing a certain way?
I'll tell you the first scene that I did there. And Vetri sir was pretty much aware of the fact that where I'm coming from, what my mindset is at that point, that I don't know anything about this whatsoever. And he used that to his advantage. A good thing was he casted me in a character which is supposed to be slightly lost in the scheme of things. And I was lost in scheme of things as Taapsee as well. So he used that to his advantage. And the first line that he made me say was someone in a scene where, I'm meeting Dhanush's teacher for the first time and defending that I am with him and it's okay, I am a major, I can handle that and all. So that scene, and then they suddenly drag Dhanush out, the cops come and they drag Dhanush out, and I don't know what has happened. I'm in middle of this area which is not familiar to me, and I have to just react. So he did that entire sequence the first day, and I was pretty much like, what the hell is happening kind of a reaction, which he got on camera, which kind of worked. And I knew that this guy, about Dhanush, I did my Google search well. So I knew he's a brilliant actor. I had a brief idea of Vetri sir also, because he did Polladavan before that. And the more I talked with him, the more in awe of him I was, Vetri sir, because he's such a well-read person. Even now I'm in touch with him. Even now I get a little, the first director is always very special. So I'm very scared of telling him about a film. I'm very scared if he'll like it or no. I remember I think the only film of mine he's seen till now is Pink, and he said he liked it, which was a big thing for me. And now I'm like trying to think when can I ask him to see other films slowly. But yeah, my biggest recognition will always be when it comes from my first directors that, you know, especially him. And the fact that it won 6 national awards, and I called him and said, I'm not surprised, but I wish, you know, I can also get on one day with under your direction. And he's like, yeah, let's try one day, maybe under my direction we can make a film where you can also get one. So there are a lot of these special things with Dhanush. I could see that this guy is just so effortless in whatever he is doing. All I could do was probably be a sponge there to absorb whatever he is doing. Very cooperative. I took some, like, I don't know how many takes in the beginning to just get a basic sentence right, and he was just standing there casually, not really worked up, nothing, and just like being there for me. So yeah, so I was just full, like my antennas and everything was all there, up, ready to absorb whatever I could from both these guys there on the set, and I have very vivid memories of those days.